Jasmine, hello. Thanks for joining us. Thanks
Hi.
everyone for being here. Very good to see you all. Very excited to chat with you. Jasmine, before you got on, I was just mentioning that I saw the film yesterday and it was just incredibly inspirational, charming, refreshing, and a breath of fresh air that I think is needed in times like this. Jasmine, I want to start with a question for you. Hearing about your dreams as a fashion designer and owner of a cupcake business, a salon, working at McDonald's, all across the board, where do you find the inspiration to dream so big?
Oh God, I don't know. I think it's just because I always wanted to work and have my own business, be like an entrepreneur kind of thing, and I love it. It's really great. And my other job that I really want to do is in the film. It's called Outer Limits.
Yes.
And I want to work there too. So I'm applying for an application, and it's going really well. And I am so blessed to have this.
That's excellent. And we see season 6 of your play in the film. Are we getting a season 7 anytime soon?
Actually, yeah, yes. I think probably next year, maybe it's possible. Because but right now it's not that great at the moment right now because of my brother is having a baby and Pat is also having a baby and stuff like that. Things kind of get a little hectic.
Sorry, we're overshadowing your play this summer, Jasmine.
No, that's fine. I'm not gonna complain a bit about it. I'm not doing that, but it's just that things got in the way, so to speak. But we're gonna come back and next year be very strong and to everybody hit the the accents, the acting, and the dance moves and everything will be much bigger and better.
The best projects keep people waiting. You want to build up that anticipation.
Yes, exactly.
Patrick, how did you come about, starting this project, getting to know Jasmine, getting to know the family, and what led to the film?
Yeah, well, Chad approached me one day, just kind of out of the blue. I saw him out at this Earth Day festival, and he said, "Hey, I have this thing that you're going to be interested in," and then we ended up catching up over lunch a few weeks later, and he explained the whole thing about how Jasmine writes and directs this play, and it's up in the UP, which is on the other end of the country, laterally, and so I said, that sounds great actually, because my wife and I were planning to go up to Michigan in the summer and get out of the Savannah heat. And so we planned our whole vacation around this event. And we thought we would film for maybe 2 or 3 days and then do some kayaking and hiking and outdoor stuff. And we still did a few outdoor things, but we basically ended up filming for 7 days straight with Chad and Jasmine and the whole family and learning about the town of Iron River. Yeah. And then after that last day of filming, I started to feel like we had more than just a short film. So we started planning some other trips back to Iron River, and we brought a drone photographer for one of those trips and got all the establishing shots, some kind of elevated the cinematography a little bit. And then we filmed a lot of footage of Chad just living his daily life down here in Savannah and kind of getting more into his backstory. And so it was about a year of filming on and off, and then about another year of editing before we had a 90-minute film ready to go.
Excellent. Some of my favorite films are films just about family, and that's what Iron Family ultimately is. And Jasmine, of course, you're the star of the family.
Yes, I am.
But we really learn about everyone in the family. And I guess Patrick, as a filmmaker, and then Chad and Jasmine as well, was anything off limits?
With me, never. Never off limits, no. But but there's some moments that was off limits, but in particular, but I'm not gonna mention it, but let's just say oh God, there's one thing that was to me was kind of off limits to me, and it was the part when Chad, I think it was in the film when Chad told me something, and it was in the scene where not in the kitchen, but in the dining room scene, and he was like, but he was not defensive, but he was had the way that he had his tone was like, and he's like, oh really? I'm like, and I was like, okay, time to cut.
Was that when Chad was telling you not to put too much maple syrup on your pancakes?
Yeah, that was the first scene.
Okay.
But I'm talking about the second scene when in the dining room we were discussing about careers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. You told him to get out, I think.
Yes. And I was like, okay, Pat, cut it a little
Yeah.
bit. So he
Well,
did. He got it down. So
from behind the camera, I gotta say, I don't recall any times you guys telling me to cut. So
yeah,
you
I
were-
did on the part when Chad's like I did tell you the part when I told you to cut it was part when Chad was like almost about to what to call it, I think I remember it. Wait, it'll come to me for a minute. It was the part, oh yeah, now I definitely remember. It was the part where Chad was trying to get some rent, the money part, and I was so angry at him, and I put my hand up, and I was like, mouthing the words to you.
Well, maybe. Well,
Yeah.
I have something to say about that. Well, first of all, we have a special surprise
Oh,
guest.
oh God, really great.
Welcome.
And,
Thanks.
I think that my family was really good about trusting Pat and trusting me too, because like when I felt it was important that we establish some of the difficulties my mom was going through with her health and stuff like that. And so I had flown back to help her with some of those appointments and procedures and stuff. And so, I just got some footage of her going into the hospital, and then that scene where she's talking with the doctor about all of her ailments, and then she gets a little teary-eyed. But that whole day she was pretty cool about me capturing all of that stuff. I could tell like at some point she wasn't really into it. There was a moment when she just said, I just don't want to be filmed right now.
Yeah.
I said, all right,
Understandable.
fair enough.
But I do remember that one scene that when she was like talking to Andy, when she had that tissue and Andy's like trying to be sympathetic to her, and she said I want to, and then at the end she said my also my little girl. I was like, oh my God, that's me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, mom was saying how she just wanted to be helpful and make sure that she was healthy to take care of you, her little girl. Yeah.
Chad, I want to ask you about
I was the angel
the angel.
of this family.
Well, we'll get to that. I have a few questions about that too. But Chad,
Okay.
Chad, you and your sister have this really entertaining relationship throughout the film that's depicted, which you can tell is just grounded in your care and love for Jasmine and Jasmine's love of you. One of the funniest pieces or funniest parts of this was I think when you were picking Jasmine up from dance one night, and you said something about if you do this each day, you're going to lose the weight. And Jasmine said, I'm doing this to get you off my back. And it just made me laugh so hard. But has this always been the relationship that you have had with one another?
I
I
don't
like
know.
this part.
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah,
well, I think that Jasmine and I had kind of two different phases of our life, because when she was born, I was already 16 years old.
Yeah.
And so I was there for the first couple of years of her life. And then I kind of went off to college and did all this stuff. Jasmine and my mother actually moved to Peoria, Illinois for an extended period of time.
Yeah,
And
16 years.
live with them anymore because I was, being an adult and going to the university and stuff. And then I started to reconnect with Jasmine, more. I mean, we were always connected, but at a deeper level, I think, when I, started my professional career, had a little bit more money, and I was able to travel back and forth to Michigan and spend longer periods of time with her. And then that's when I think we started fostering more of like an adult relationship. Jasmine had matured and she was, starting to do creative things and writing in her journals all the time. And so I got to learn more about that creative side of her. And, but I've always kind of teased her because I'm a bigger brother.
It's part of the role.
She, told me that she was uncomfortable with some things, right? Like, I don't smack your butt anymore. You used to hate that.
Yes, and I still do.
Yeah, well, I stopped.
Good. And I think it continues to stop when that baby's born.
Yeah. But, I think, the film captures that, like, I can be pretty controlling, and I am, and it's because, like, I love Jasmine and want her to be as healthy as possible so she can be around as much as possible. Yeah. But, to her credit, no, you're doing amazing. I mean, I don't know if you can see it now, but, Jasmine has turned her life around since the film. And she, that scene where she's like doing Zumba, she continued to do Zumba and more. And she's lost 90 pounds.
Wow.
And
that's incredible.
Yeah. And then recently she just lost 3 more. Yeah. So
that's incredible.
Pretty fantastic. And so it's pretty wonderful that we're going to LA now, and she's pretty much like the healthiest she's been in like 20 years, and so she's ready to just go out on.
Can I put my 2 cents in now?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. Well, actually, I have to say, yes, I have done it for my health for a lot, and for me and my mind and spirit and body. But I also, for me, it kind of felt like it's kind of like a large battle that I took, and everything that in my life was like really chaos at the moment, and I wanted to get what to call it, like inner demons out of my life and bad energy. And I thought to myself, what can I do? What can I do to get rid of this whole gaping hole of things that I need to get out of? So I thought to myself, maybe I don't want Chad to help me with this, but I can do it for myself, because this is my inner demons, my battle, my struggle with life, and I want to do it. And I have been doing it. I have been on diets. One time in 2009, I had weight loss one time, and I lost a couple of pounds years ago. And that's when that year in 2009, I had my heart attack, and everything after that was smooth sailing. And I had a good friend who helped me with this thing, and I'm really grateful until I lost him. And he was the big part of my life. And even though right now I have my brother and my dad in front of me here, but it doesn't matter what I do with my friend. But I do have 2 amazing factors in my life that I had ever since my whole childhood, was my brother and my dad. They have been the go-to people that I love so much deeply, and they are really helping me with my challenge. But I don't want them to control my whole life with it. I don't want that people who can control me about how I feel, how I try to lose weight. I'm fine the best I can. I'm not going to repeat myself. I want to do it for me and for my love and my well-being. And I always, and in that film, I said that I want to have a boyfriend, and I'm doing it, and I'm trying to my damnness to have that opportunity in my life.
Jasmine,
and my brother and my dad would never. I'm saying my brother, my dad, and my mom cannot tell me what to do with my love life or in general factors in my life. But they could be the general they could be the general into my to my well-being and my factors in life, but not my whole life.
Well, Jasmine, I think it's very clear that you're extraordinarily strong-willed. And it's said in the movie as well, a lot of people say that you're the boss, and I think that's very clear. But to have that dedication to losing 93 pounds and working out the way that you are, I mean, I'm going to ask you for your workout regimen after this because I need a little bit of help. But that says a lot about, your dedication and your perseverance. So I absolutely love that. Are you the boss, Jasmine?
Yes, I am. When I say goes.
There you go.
Yeah, and if somebody corrects me or anything, I tell them to get out of my house and never come back.
Sounds good. There you go. Patrick, is that true? Did she really run the show? Was she the director, or was it you?
Well, we each direct our own portion of this story, if you will. So Jasmine directs the play. Chad, I would call Chad the maybe the assistant director of the play, because he's the one scrambling around and making sure everything's in place, and he's also the producer. And then I get to direct the documentary. I get the final call, but I did participate with Jasmine and Chad, collaborate with them. Throughout the whole process. I showed them our first rough cut and they gave me feedback, and we talked about the different potential and storylines. We had a much longer cut. We had a first cut that was like 45 minutes long.
Oh wow.
Longer, and we had to decide what to cut down and where to focus things. So I was able to work with both of them and make sure everybody was excited about the final product.
Very good. Chad, I want to ask you one other question. You bear a lot of yourself here in the film. You're talking about past relationships and obstacles in your life, and you even opened up a little bit about it earlier when I asked about you and Jasmine's relationship. Was it hard to open up on camera? And looking back and watching the film, how does it make you feel seeing that?
I don't think it was hard for me to open up because I had, the film reveals that I wrote a memoir. And that memoir was pretty intense and pretty, open about at least the first 10 years of my life. So that wasn't that difficult. And because I've been in recovery, for so long, you see that scene with Carol Ann. So I'm used to being, like I've dealt with most of my demons, and I feel pretty comfortable about where I'm at and who I am. And so that's not that difficult. To be honest, if anything, when I look at myself sometimes in the film, I'm like, well, maybe I should have been wearing something different. I mean, we didn't know, it was just so, all I knew is I wanted to get somebody up there to film it.
Yeah.
And then when Pat was coming, I just made sure to have all kinds of things set up for him to film that would probably, tell a story, or at least contribute to some sort of story. We had no outline. We had nothing. We just knew that, so I set up those initial interviews with Carol Ann and my mom and Holly and Greg, and I knew all that stuff would likely be important, and it all made its way in. But so I just felt it wasn't hard for me to open up. I'm pretty an open person.
Chad, I think your wardrobe was perfect, actually, especially the Uber tuxedo you wore for the play. Was great. Yeah, jean shirt and jeans. It was good. I'm serious. It looked You
It
looked
was
straight out
okay.
of the road to the UP rodeo, so that was cool.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, the rodeo was good, but not himself.
Not the clowns, right, Jasmine?
Oh God, no, no, get the clowns out. I don't know why what Pat was thinking about that, and stuff like that, because he wore a costume and I'm like, no way, get that out of here. So he probably took off that wig.
Jasmine, I want to ask you, you mentioned and you referenced your family and the support that you have. And especially with the play, just seeing the town come together, seeing family and friends come together for it. Now, when you're watching the film, when you're watching the film about your life, where you're the star and you see all this playing out, how does that make you feel?
Well, for starters, I have described one word. It is wonderful and chaotic. And I do.
That's two words, Jasmine.
Fine. Wonderful to see myself on that film. And when I saw it again for the second time, and realizing that, wow, I know I got all this stuff that I'm doing, and realizing, oh my God, I am the star, and I did not know it at the time, because of this documentary. Pat, of course, made me the star of this central role of this central role of this documentary. I was really impressed by that, and seeing that when I said the word outcome between my mom and my brother, but it was mostly because I was very emotional in my life when I was a kid, when I was growing up, and I still am. And I want to show that side. I want everybody to see that side of me that I never got to open up about, and all these, the struggles that I've been through, and emotionally and mentally and physically, and to me, it's a great ride. And now, I'm kind of used to it being famous and stuff, but this is like the big time now, going to LA and seeing like everybody gonna be in that theater watching this film, and I'd be kind of nervous and stuff, but everything would be just normally fine. But deep down, I can feel like I have these like little moments like I did before in the film. But now for me, I get like really how to say this, anxious and nervous at the same time, and it kind of what's the word, it kind of triggers me in a way that I can't describe it, but it's like overpiling, but I have to like dial back a little bit, so that way it will roll off, and Pat and Anne and God would be like my what to call it, like kind of like a BB weapons kind of thing, like ping 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 ping, like kind of thing like that. And that is Pat and Anne and Chad all right there to help me do that, instead of going all the way into a panic mode. And they help me to be calm and more zen in my life. So
well, and I think what you're going to see, Jasmine, is that from this film, you're the star of the plays when you put them on, but you're definitely the star of the film, and people are going to fall in love with you, and just, I think, your ability to dream and inspire. So I really thank you for doing the film, Patrick for directing the film and being open to it when Chad went to you, and Chad just, being that visionary to kind of open up Jasmine's world here and share it with the rest of us. It really is remarkable. Jasmine, if Matthew McConaughey is watching this, what do you want to say to him?
I just want to say thank you, Matthew, for what's in this film, being being invested in me. It's my dream, and I'm so glad to see. I don't know what to say, but oh God,
So much to say
Matthew.
to Matthew.
Yeah, I have to say, oh my God, I'll say, Matthew, you're my light, and you always bring me laughter, joy, and you made me cry. And I'm so glad that I have you in my life, in my hands. And I want to take that and give that power to you. And I love you for that, Matthew.
Well, I think that's a great place to end, Jasmine. I know that you all are jumping to another interview, so I want to be cognizant of the time. But thank you all for taking the time today to chat. It's such a delightful movie, and I hope everyone sees it, not only at the festival, but wherever they can catch it after as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Take care,
Thanks,
everyone.
Joe.